Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coin Lady channel. The Gary Gensler video we have for you today is very massive. The SEC's entire body of work is rendered useless as a result of this. Watch till the finish of the video because there are still a lot of great things to talk about. But let's focus on XRP for the time being. We can see that it has dropped 1.3% today despite the fact that trading volume is up the roof. I've been asked numerous times why. And the explanation is simple. There have been some significant institutional sell-offs, and this dumping is not exclusive to XRP. Bitcoin and Ethereum, along with the rest of the cryptocurrency market, are also seeing huge daily losses. There are some pretty important events happening right now, so let's talk about the geopolitical situation first and then the SEC. As we can plainly see below, the Chinese yuan has surpassed the US dollar as China's preferred currency for international trade. What does this mean for XRP and the cryptocurrency market as a whole? We all know that XRP relies heavily on international trade. But let's talk about why this is significant for cryptocurrencies and why it matters to us. In order to incorporate cryptocurrency into their centralized financial systems and expand accessibility to the general population, it is not surprising that the Chinese yuan has eclipsed the US dollar in cross-border transactions within China. China is making tremendous progress, while the United States is trying to regulate the industry as much as possible. The SEC's persistent overreach, along with its continued promulgation of ambiguous guidelines for those operating crypto firms, has the effect of stifling innovation. Who is making use of this new development? In passing, the blame lies solely with China. Yes, of course. They are, they say, deep into cryptocurrency right now. In it, we put our faith. In light of recent events, the United States is likely to place a greater emphasis on international trade. It's not only the Chinese. Representatives from Argentina, Brazil, and Russia have brought this to the attention of senators in the United States. Of course we know. In fact, Ted Cruz claims to be a huge proponent of Bitcoin, showing that some Republican contenders in the United States of America are keen to promote cryptocurrency adoption due to the damage that they see the current administration causing on just the entire American economy by suppressing innovation, not offering clear standards, and overstepping their bounds while abusing their authority. Other countries aren't just sitting around waiting. The United States of America is being informed that it is no longer the dominant power. XRP is quickly becoming widely used by everyone as an additional currency option. It's probably with good reason that we're threatening you, but we're not going to sit around and wait for the United States to figure this stuff out and start abusing its authority. Therefore, if it does, you can do one of two things. Whether you join in or not, I will give credit where credit is due, so there's no reason to dither. Some GOP hopefuls are aware of this, though. Thank you for taking the stance you have taken on cryptocurrency. I share it. I think Ted Cruz would appreciate XRP, and if we ever get the chance to talk, I think he would like it too. It is clear, however, that Argentina is following suit and will soon be using the Chinese yuan instead of the US dollar to pay for imports. So it's not like it's only China. Another time. The BRICS alliance is being told to back off by a growing number of countries that have recently joined. The United States of America requires a new dominant figure at the helm. It seems that most countries expect China to win. Therefore, we're crossing our fingers that China will keep its current position on cryptocurrencies, since this might bring trillions of dollars into our economy. Right now. Late in April, the document reveals the company's plan to pay for about $1 billion in Chinese imports in yuan rather than dollars. A government announcement estimates that this will translate into yuan payments of about $790 million each month for imports. Earlier today, international transactions involving the Chinese yuan surpassed those involving the US dollar. Right. This is of great importance. It is becoming increasingly likely that Pakistan would also adopt the BRICS currency. If you think XRP should be utilized as this currency, we're speculating on what it might be. We need to get the word out, so if you enjoyed this film, please share it and retweet it. Now, due to the dissension, let's focus on the SEC in particular. The SEC has announced that it must take a pause from regulating the Bitcoin market. After everything I've said in this video, I hope it's clear, but let's talk about it some more anyway because they brought up some great points. One way to wave the flag is to take legal action. Pierce claims ownership of the region, but the SEC's drive for expansion has gone astray. Instead of making rules and then creating recommendations to help crypto companies follow those rules, our regulatory responsibilities have not been met. We provided no way to become compliant. To expand the scope of cryptocurrency-related operations regulated by the SEC, Pierce has made several public statements, most recently rejecting a proposal to modify the definition of an exchange. He believes this will help heal the strained relationship between the cryptocurrency industry and the government by encouraging public discussion of appropriate cryptocurrency checks and balances. This, however, is obviously not the case. Historically, when more authority is assumed, more problems arise, and it becomes much more difficult to overturn regulations once they have been put in place. She calls the SEC's current strategy a combination of regulation by enforcement, a phrase that cryptocurrency advocates have also adopted, and regulation by ambiguity, which keeps businesses in the dark about compliance obligations until a lawsuit is filed on them. Pierce claims that the loss of trust between the SEC and the cryptocurrency industry is at the root of Coinbase's decision to leave the nation. This is happening as a result of a number of other major cryptocurrency exchanges recently announcing that they will no longer serve customers in the United States. Clearly, she is not alone in thinking this way. Coinbase recently identified a common source of discontent among crypto enterprises, and the world of finance shares this sentiment, but efforts to engage with regulators about the parts of crypto that don't fit cleanly into existing frameworks have borne new fruit. Paul Grewal, Coinbase's top legal officer, claims that the company's 30-plus sessions with the SEC have amounted to one-sided monologues. By making this statement, the SEC is effectively saying that they will not consider customer preferences when making decisions. Instead, they want nothing more than to cause as much trouble as possible for cryptocurrency trading platforms. Since the government is threatened by cryptocurrencies and the market structure they provide, the government actively works to stifle their adoption. Meanwhile, numerous other large centralized organizations and service providers are exploring blockchain technology and incorporating it in novel ways, including Visa and all these other big guys. Therefore, it is clear that such behavior is unacceptable. They want to monopolize the market to the point where they can finally say, "Sorry, guys, you can have your business back." It will become immediately apparent that this is not fair until they have established themselves and the SEC has been coerced into submission, at which point we will be unable to accept it and XRP will be compelled to oppose it. For the good of the neighborhood as a whole, we have to implement this. But to make my case, Gary Gensler was just quoted in a widely shared leak. Listen to the entire clip because you won't believe what he has to say. Approximately 75% of this market's value has already been determined by the SEC to not be a security. At this time, 1 Ether is worth about 15 points, or 54% of 1 Bitcoin. Because of this, your score has increased by about 70 points. There are also many additional elements at play. About 75% of the market value could be categorized as a commodity, a cat, or a cup right now, given that there are no securities in this world. However, there are a few things I feel are important to point out to help you fully grasp what he is saying here. Most cryptocurrencies, he says, is not a security. Please remember that this video was recorded before he joined the SEC, and that it will come back to haunt him now that he is trying to regulate cryptocurrencies, which he argues in this video are not securities. Right. In this group, XRP stands out. Therefore, it makes perfect sense that we speak out against this sort of conduct. Given how transparent the situation is, it's an abuse of power to keep populists under authoritarian rule. We as the XRP army refuse to accept the stifling of innovation. If you agree with this message, please show Gary Gensler's hypocrisy by liking and retweeting this and explaining how he brought full destruction upon himself. Gary Jones's life has ended here. The SEC will cease to operate in its current capacity. The SEC has a responsibility to the public at large, not just the wealthy few. So, we'll be fighting for major changes in the way it's run. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave a comment below. See you later, bye.